It's the final week of the regular season, and tonight the game of the week has saved the best for last. It's a game that has no bearing on the playoffs. It has all the hype. It's 2 years in the making. It's Lakeland. It's Kathleen. It's offense and defense. It's a game Lakeland has dominated, and a game Kathleen has not won since its most famous graduate danced on a dreadnought.
I had to be Lakeland. But like I said, it's one of those rivalries that the city itself just gets up for.
It's a Polk County rivalry. It's Lakeland and Kathleen. It's only the game of the week. Welcome to Johnny Johnson Stadium in Lakeland. It's the regular season finale of the game of the week. And tonight, one of the biggest contests in the state of Florida will take center stage as the number 2 ranked Lakeland Dreadnaughts take on the 3rd ranked Kathleen Red Devils. Hello, everybody. My name is Eric Keaton, and welcome back to the Bright House Network's Channel 47 Game of the Week. We have a heavyweight championship fight tonight that has been 2 years in the making. Let's bring in my broadcast pal. He played professional football, caught touchdown passes from Dan Marino. He is Lamar Thomas, and LT. I said it's like a heavyweight fight. Are we going to be all hyped tonight or what?
Oh, Eric, you got to understand something. When senior night, both teams being ranked in the tops in the state, it's not going to be hype. I'd say we might see one of the greatest games ever in Polk County history.
Well, we're about to find out. As the commercial says, let's talk about Bill Castle's Lakeland Dreadnaughts. They come in tonight once again undefeated, looking for another undefeated season. They are ranked in the top 10 in Class 5A. And when you talk about Coach Castle's team, it's all offense. They average more than 40 points a game, and they have a sophomore by the name of Chris Rainey. I call him the Rain Man. He doesn't count cards, he counts yards.
Oh, Chris Rainey is a super talent, a super player, and at one point in the season, Eric, he was averaging over 20 yards a carry. And you know what, Eric? He's only a sophomore, so he's going to get better and better each year.
LT, let's talk about another young man, but he is a senior. His name's George Allen. Had a pretty good preseason game when we saw him against Lake Gibson. This kid just knows how to make tackles.
81 tackles. He's a solid linebacker. Doesn't make many mistakes. And the coaches just love him because he's a good student of the game.
Let's talk about Richard Tate's Lakeland Kathleen Red Devils. They come in tonight with a record of 8-1. Their only defeat of the season happened in week number 1. Believe it or not, LT, this is the first time they've actually won back-to-back district titles, the first time in school history. But more importantly for Lakeland tonight, they're looking for their first victory against Lakeland since 1992, and they hope to do it on the ground with Marcus Okobe, who's no slouch himself in running the football.
That's right, Mr. Okobe. He was a 2-year starter, and last year he rushed for over 1,000 yards leading the team. Coach says he's a very, very hard worker, and look for him to get the ball at least 18 to 20 times tonight.
Well, the opponent tonight, Coach Castle, talks a lot about this Kathleen defense. They've only given up 57 points in 9 games. The big reason why is their defensive line. Albert McClellan is the playmaker on defense.
Tremendous athlete, Coach Tate says, a 4-year starter, and we might see him tonight play wide receiver and tight end also.
Well, the big question, is it hype? Are we going 15 rounds? Will it be a TKO, or will we have a majority decision? We're about to find out. It's the game of the week coming up. Kathleen and Lakeland right after this. Welcome back to the game of the week. Eric Keaton alongside Lamar Thomas. It is the 39th meeting between Kathleen and Lakeland. The Dreadnaughts have won the last 10, but it looks like the entire senior class down there on senior night for Kathleen is ready to change things as the team captains are with Bob Greco, our referee tonight for the coin toss.
Tails. He's going to call tails. It is heads. Reds won the toss. It's your option. You want to defer to the second half, okay? Your option. You want the ball. Which goal you want to defend? Let me give you this toss first here. Red team won the toss and deferred to the second half. You're receiving. Which goal you want to defend? Okay, you're back over there facing me. Nope, over there facing me. White over here. There we go.
It is on. LT.
Eric, it is on. The atmosphere here, I mean, this is standing room only.
And once again, we have an outstanding crowd, and what the Friday Night Lights are all about is about ready to happen on your television set if you did not make it out to Polk County. The heart of Florida tonight, the final night of regular season football, unless you're playing a hurricane game next week. What better way to end the regular season and get ready for the postseason to have one of the biggest games in the state of Florida.
This is hype, dude. I got goosebumps, man. I should be down there.
You ready to go suit up?
Hey, man, I'm ready. This is probably one of the most exciting stadiums since we've been in the whole year. I mean, everybody's on the edge. Everybody's ready to get this thing on the way.
It is great football weather.
Oh,
it's dipping down at least highs in the mid-60s.
See, this is North Florida football weather, Eric. This is up in Gainesville. You go up to the Panhandle. You play Jacksonville schools.
Slight breeze. Here comes one of the most powerful programs taking the field. We saw them in the preseason, but they are a different type of club, undefeated, the Lakeland Dreadnaughts.
Both teams coming out to smoke.
8-1 on the season. Kathleen hasn't won this game since 1992. They showed unity with their seniors going out for the opening coin toss. And it is a sea of red on that football field and orange and black on the visitor side.
This is like playoff atmosphere here. I mean, I haven't seen this type of atmosphere since I went up to the Panhandle in '88. I mean, this is great.
There's Coach Richard Tate in his 5th season. An overall record of 26-24, Lamar, but the last 2 seasons, 10-1. Lost last year only to Monsignor Pace, who went on to win the Class 3A state championship. But this year, 8-1, they've won 8 in a row. Their only loss to Lake Gibson, and that was in week number 1. Of course, when you talk about the Red Devils, it's all about defense. But they'll show you a thing or two on offense tonight as well. As Lakeland will be getting the football first. And they are dangerous on offense, and they are dangerous on special teams. And Coach Castle, well, it's no doubt what he's done in his career as the main man at Lakeland. His worst season was one of the campaigns last year when they were 6-3 and didn't get to play this game.
That's right.
When he had 4 members of his football team have viral meningitis. Of course, Polk County canceled the game.
Right.
Well, I should say postponed it to this year.
Right, exactly. You know, we look at this Lakeland team. We saw them in the preseason, that preseason game, and they just, you know, we just said, well, nothing special, but they come on.
Chris Rainey, 3 returns, 178 yards, and 2 touchdowns. His partner back there, Eric Jean, number 9, 4 returns for 157 yards and a touchdown. They don't return very many kicks because they're usually not receiving kicks. Jet Steel-like, the golden shoes, and they are not kicking it to the Lakeland Dreadnaughts. Instead, taking it is the up man, Isaac Johnson, the tight end, and the Dreadnaughts will start out on their own 37-yard line. As Clint Slappy says, no doubt about it, I am not kicking it to those dangerous return men. And number 7 on offense, the starting quarterback is Chris Griffin. And of course, a dangerous backfield, just a dangerous running game. There's 2,000 yards between Griffin, Chancey, Rainey, Gene, Wilson, and Johnson. An outstanding trio of receiving. Up front, it's Jordan Hammond. Kindred Stewart is the big man, 6'2", 282. Tim Warner Hardy and Demetrius Wilson, the junior right tackle at 6'2", 275. And here we go. The first play goes to Rainey, and Rainey gets hit at around the 40-yard line as the Red Devils defense holds him to a 5th of his average, only 3 yards. The Kathleen Red Devils defense only allowed 57 points this season. Up front, it's McClellan. Expect Darrell Lake maybe to get back in there tonight. He's the other big defensive end. Chase Masters, Turner, and Robinson make up the front 4. Newton, Bryant, and Taylor, the linebackers, and Nelson Black. LeVar Thomas, the Bizarro for Lamar Thomas, and Ronnie Calloway is the free safety. You like that, LeVar Thomas? Keeping it on the option, little speed option. They flip it out to Rainey. Rainey's hit and lost the football. The biggest play of the game thus far goes to the Red Devils. Chris Griffin on the speed option. Lamar flipped it out there, and Rainey had no chance.
Well, what Kathleen did here, they did a great job of having both guys accounted for. They had a guy on the pitch guy. As soon as he catches it, there's a guy there. There was a guy on the quarterback, actually, so he had no choice but to pitch it.
Antoine Nelson with the huge hit, the cornerback, and now it's time for Antoine McCroy. And he gives the football up, and they keep it on the ground. Kobe. He's the workhorse for this Red Devil offense with McCroy, the quarterback, Kobe, and R.J. Island, the tailback. Duffy, Bess, and Hardrett make up the receiving core. Now up front, they're not very big. Garcia, Jarrett, Williams, Andrews, and Lalonde. But I tell you what, Andrews goes 5'10", 290. He's the biggest guy, but they have 3 sophomores and 2 juniors that make up that offensive line. But they are very effective, Lamar.
Well, you have to be effective when you have back like a Kobe back there.
Kobe, the single setback. They'll run the speed option. Look like a face mask, but no call. And guess who gets in on the tackle? And our guy that we previewed at the top of the telecast, George Allen. The Lakeland defense, the Dreadnaughts with Irby, Kindred Stewart doing double duty, and that's Alex Hamilton and Edgar Lewis. Lewis, 43 tackles, 15 for a loss. Taylor Coleman and George Allen. And then it's Jesse Smart, yes, related to He Hate Me, and Andre Walker, Troy Johnson, and Randy Doby. Doby, a very good, strong safety with 79 tackles on the season.
I wonder if Jesse Smart goes by, he likes me.
Oh, he loves me.
Yeah, exactly.
3rd down for Kathleen after the turnover on the Lakeland 37-yard line. Movement up front, and it'll be whistled dead.
You know, I know it's early in the game, Eric, but this is like a defensive struggle.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Looks like a defensive struggle all night long here. Both teams have played great, solid defense. You know, you got a back like Rainey on the other side. He's already been neutralized in that first series.
Antoine McCroy, obviously in a passing situation now. Call it 3rd down along 12. He's 40 of 84 on the season for 10 touchdowns and 4 interceptions and 611 yards. Will he be putting it in the air? Or again, be looking for a Kobe. But he comes in averaging almost 18
play action right here.
Carries a game. LT says the play action. They send a man in motion. McCroy trying to get out of some trouble. He lost the football. Is it a fumble? They call it a fumble. Picking it up and running the other way. Here's number 6, Randy Doby. Doby will score a touchdown for the Dreadnaughts. But a flag is back in midfield. I'm not sure if McCroy was throwing it or just lost the handle on it. Either way, huge play for the Dreadnaughts. They score.
Intentional grounding or something like that.
Saw a flag and the beanbag come out. A coup tonight, the Lake Region Football Officials Association. Here's another look, LT.
Comes out here. I knew it was going to be play action. And
he was throwing it.
I think he was throwing it. I think they're going to call intentional grounding.
Touchdown. The pass was forward.
Well, they take the points off the board. Now they're going to call it intentional grounding. And, of course, they lose the down. So
I know Kathleen's happy about that. I know they're excited about that.
You heard the last part by Bob Greco saying the pass was forward. There's no instant replay, but they'll take it.
Well, both of these teams have each other scouted out well. They know that the only way Kathleen's going to pass is probably in play action.
Again, Rainey back to receive the punt. It'll bounce up around the 30-yard line. Couple hits out there. McClellan throws a nice little hit while the ball's still bouncing around. The ball was downed at the 23-yard line, so Lakeland will get their second possession, but the crowd has to come down from cloud 9. And for Kathleen, a sigh of relief after the officials get that call right.
In a game like this, Eric,
You know, players are always told, have your head on the swivel when you're standing around the pile. Because there's so much emotion in this game. Guys wanting to make a name and, you know, get bragging rights. You got to keep your head on the swivel.
Cedric Edmonds was standing around and McClellan said, hey, I'm still playing football. They haven't blown the whistle yet. Back to the ground game. Steve Chansey, the fullback taking it up the middle. And you see some pushing and shoving going on in there.
I think right now for the referees, they have to at least throw one penalty just to let the guys know, maybe offsetting penalties, let them calm down. A lot of emotions in this game. Bragging rights, everything's on the line here.
Chansey comes in for Coach Castle with 77 carries and 500 yards. And, of course, you saw the numbers for Chris Rainey. 68 carries, 1,073 yards. Can't go without talking about Chris Griffin. I mean, all three of these guys combined, the typical three-headed monster. All three of them can run it, the two running backs and the quarterback. To the right side, and again, just dominating the front line right now is the Red Devils defense. They're trying to sneak it again to Chansey. And might have got back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and very long for the Dreadnaughts.
I know it's early, Eric, but I don't see anybody scoring. This is both of these defenses are extremely tough.
It's like we're going to be playing this game tonight on the frozen tundra.
We might go to triple overtime, Eric.
With no scores.
With no scores.
Field goal fest. 3rd down, call it 9 for the Dreadnaughts. As Chris Griffin surveying that defensive front, so effective for the Red Devils this year. He'll run it himself, looking to go up the middle. Griffin will have the 1st down so quick. We saw him do that LT against Lake Gibson in the preseason contest. But now the quarterback, Chris Griffin, just so much quicker than he was 10 weeks ago.
You know, Eric, in that preseason game, you know, they hadn't been practicing, so he did do much of the running, and he kept the ball out himself. But, you know, you see he's an explosive quarterback that's almost like having another running back in the backfield.
Albert McClellan and Edward Taylor eventually makes the tackles, but that's downfield for your defensive end and your weak side linebacker. An outstanding block on Trent Newton was able to spring Griffin. And it's a 1st down across 35, and the flag comes out. And usually when it's that quick, you have a line of scrimmage infraction.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
Darrell Lake is now going to check in on that front 4 right now for the Red Devils. Coach Castle, well, I bet you he wears out some grass over there on that sideline going back and forth, LT.
He's intense.
Paul Wilson, your near side receiver. And a 1st and 5. They run the option again and put it on the ground and just bouncing it out there. And as the Red Devils throw about 4 or 5 and the ball carrier there on the side. There's nothing you can do. Whoever's carrying it, whether it's Chansey or Rainey, you're going to have no shot when the ball's out there.
We've seen a lot of times teams in this high school football year not cover one or two of the guys, the pitchman or either the quarterback. But what they're doing, Kathleen, they have a guy on both the pitchman and the quarterback and the fullback. They're very well disciplined. They're doing their assignments so far.
They're going to line up a Rainey now in the slot. That was Eric Jean. He's now on the far side as they show a 4-receiver formation on a 2nd down and 6. Again, Griffin will keep it. And he's about 2 yards shy. First to wrap him up, and before he got help was Edward Taylor. Came in with 58 tackles. He's adding to his tally tonight. So it'll be 3rd and short coming up. They're close to midfield for Lakeland.
See, it's a read play where he's reading number 8, Andre Walker. He's trying, Edward Taylor. He's trying to make sure, you know, if he goes down with the fullback, the quarterback's going to keep it. And see, most of the time, the guys on defense don't do their assignments, and it's a wide open play for the quarterback.
3rd down and 2 for Chris Griffin. Send Jean again in motion, run the speed option to the far side. Nobody out there. An outstanding tackle again, making another outstanding play as Antoine Nelson. He forced a fumble earlier, and here the quarterback, only 5'8", 170, makes the play. It brings up another 4th down.
Extremely great job of playing defense here. They have everything covered here. What they're doing, they're stringing Lakeland out. Kathleen is not allowing Lakeland to turn the corner.
See Coach Castle just look at both those guys over there making the tackle, and Nelson and Albert McClellan like, man, they're quick. Just such great closing speed.
Team speed.
Justin Burdett to punt it away. Good looking line drive punt. And chases back Lamont Black to his 17-yard line, trying to get to that near sideline. He'll be stood up, and he is popped hard. And they talk about him running the football, but Chris Rainey can also play some special teams.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Just a sophomore.
Just a sophomore. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of this kid from years to come. Unless he decides to come out early.
Adrian Peterson-like for Oklahoma. No score in the ball game. A lot of the time possession thus far dominated by Lakeland just on that last drive. And Kathleen went backward after they received the turnover in Lakeland's first possession. Trying to drive it forward. And the Dreadnaughts, who has the football? For a moment, they thought R.J. Island had as he got popped on the near side, but Kobe ended up with it. But you had a couple of Dreadnaughts going on the near side here after R.J. Island.
You see, when I talked earlier, Kathleen playing good solid defense, having somebody on the pitch, man. Lakeland that time, Dobie went out and just popped someone, popped the pitch man. He didn't have the ball.
And Jordan Hammond, he saw who had the ball right on the handoff.
That's assignment defense, Eric. Assignment defense.
We'll throw it. It's complete to Duffy. Duffy trying to slip tackles, and he gets close to the sticks to move the chains. We'll wait and see what Bob Greco has to say, if it's good enough to move them. It's third down and a couple coming up after they mark it just shy of the 35-yard line.
You see, Eric, that's one way to loosen up the defense, and especially both teams playing such great run, having such great run defense. You try to get it out there in the flat, get it to your wide receiver, and let him see what he can do.
Duffy came in as the leading receiver, making his 22nd reception, and now 330 yards on the season. And McCroy in a short yardage situation, trying to pick it up. They go up the middle to Kobe. Kobe falls forward. And he should have enough to move the sticks. It is a first down for the Red Devils.
You know, Eric, the amazing thing about Kobe is that everybody knows he's going to get the ball 20 or 30 times a game. It's, can you stop the kid?
He's averaging close to 7 yards a carry and 14 touchdowns. And last year he was a 1,000-yard back. That's the type of guys I like. I mean, obviously you want a guy like Chris Rainey who can touch the ball, and every time he touches it, he'll get 15 yards. He's not doing that tonight, obviously, a tougher defense, but you got to have that workhorse. And here he goes again, Kobe just pounding it forward, picks up 6 yards. Late flag comes out at the tail end of this play. Not sure if it's somebody getting a hit in late or a face mask. A blow to the head.
White.
I guess they figured out one way to try to stop him.
We'll have to see at the tail end if it was an accident or if it was a little, hey.
Personal foul, illegal helmet contact on the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
Well, you have to give it to the umpire. He was down there and saw it. He was coming right at him, and he was the one that threw the flag. Mark Watkins. And Kobe thus far, not his seasonal average. But you keep going with those numbers, going to start pounding that clock and pounding that line of scrimmage.
See that
tear in
midfield? See that tear in his jersey? That's going to open up before the night's over.
Kobe caught in the backfield this time. A slew of Dreadnaughts. Jordan Hammond is there along with Kindred Stewart. It'll be a loss on the play of a couple of yards and bring up a second down and make it a loss of 4. Second down and 14.
Well, look for that tear to open up in that jersey, because he's going to get the ball a lot more tonight, and that Lakeland defense is going to be swarming all night.
As far as Jordan Hammond, Kindred Stewart, with 250-plus pound guys out there.
Big boys.
Average them out. Oh, yeah. Well, they listed Kindred Stewart 280. It's Jacoby, this time evading tacklers. And he gets to the 40-yard line of Lakeland. It's a lot of those yards back and then some. Bringing up a makeable third down, LT. Call it a third down and a long 6.
Kobe made the Lakeland defense miss right here. Ooh, good move there. He showed a little looseness there. The whole game he's been powering up the middle. Now he shows that he can do other things.
He got past George Allen, but you're not going to get past George Allen and Randy Doby on the same play.
Not on the same play.
Third down, a long 6. And McCroy gonna throw it. He's lofting it up in the air. Duffy has no idea where it's at. There was no way it was gonna be caught. It's about 10 yards out of bounds.
Well, 2 things, Eric. He got punished, and I look on the sideline, and Mr. Kobe's over on the sideline. He's limping.
He is sitting on the near side bench.
And that's a big blow.
Well, Rainey standing back on the 4th down after the incompletion on his own 10-yard line. Punting it away, LeVar Thomas. Not Lamar, but LeVar. And this is going to be down inside the 15-yard line. It'll roll to the 5. And the beanbag came out around the 11. And let's see if they mark it past the 10-yard line. And Kobe trying to work out the kinks.
Well, maybe he hurt it. Well, he did. He had to hurt it on that one run where he faked out George Allen. But you wonder what's maybe an ankle. You hope it's nothing serious.
Well, Lakeland had a turnover on its first possession. It was a 3 and out for Kathleen, although they did have an intentional grounding that was initially ruled a fumble, returned for a touchdown by Randy Doby, but they got the call right. Lakeland now just running up the middle. A little conservative play. They're now backed up. So far, the field position game is being won by Kathleen.
Yeah, well, with both defenses playing so well, you don't want to take an opportunity, take a chance and throwing an interception down here. And besides, they had one fumble on the pitch already. I think Lakeland understands, Coach Castle understands that, hey, these guys are well coached on this other side, and they know everything we're doing.
Chansey is the fullback along with Chris Griffin. You see the time ticking away. Should be the final play of the first quarter. Well, Griffin's going to put it in the air, throws it out here to Wilson. Wilson will step out of bounds with 7 seconds left as he crosses the 20-yard line.
Eric, I was just about to say, Paul Wilson had a good game in that preseason game, and I figured sooner or later they're going to come to this kid. He made some good catches, some excellent hand catches. He uses his hands very well. He doesn't catch with his body much. And he's a good receiver.
22 receptions for 311 yards, makes his 23rd on the season. But as he turned upfield and he looked across at the sticks, he said, man, I might have been able to pick up the first down there.
Well, a lot of times playing wide receiver, Eric, you just want to catch that ball. Catch it and live to catch another day.
First reception on the night for the Dreadnaughts. It is a 3rd down and 2 as they try to move the football. As Kathleen now showing the blitz. And we have a whistle coming out from the back judge.
Dead ball, delay a game, offense, 5 yards, remains 3rd down.
Back judge 99.9%. Coach Castle, he knew it was a delay-up game. And so, again, from a makeable 3rd down and short, it's now a 3rd down and 7 for Lakeland.
The reason why they got a delay a game penalty there was Kathleen started shifting their defense around. I think Lakeland was coming to the line of scrimmage, already had a play call, but they saw Kathleen shift around a little bit. They got a little confused. They wanted to make sure they called the right audible.
Griffin now with his backs in the I formation. And it's Chansey and Rainey. Griffin, the rush is on, and he's just going to get rid of it. And there was no receiver out there, Coach Tate. Not sure if he's upset or if he's celebrating the outstanding defense out there. Once again, pressure by Edward Taylor. He's been all over the football. 3.6 seconds left.
Well, that's a blitz. It's a blitz. And usually the defensive end or the rusher there comes down and gets lost in the shuffle, but he did a great job of being consistent there.
The Dreadnaughts definitely confused by that Kathleen defense. Good looking punt. And it'll bounce. Ahmad Black, instead of coming up and catching around midfield, lets it bounce all the way back to the 34-yard line. That is the final play of the first quarter. It is a heavyweight bout. Both of them just kind of sparring, feeling each other out. We have no score at the end of one quarter. High school football, Kathleen and Lakeland. Lakeland's undefeated. Kathleen has won 8 in a row since dropping week number 1. We have no score as these two outstanding programs duel it out in a game 2 years in the making. And quarterback keeper, McCroy, after the punt by Lakeland. As we get ready, as we have started the second quarter, a gain of 1 yard. And on the sidelines is Marcus Kobe. And Ed Bacher has picked up some information down there about number 6, as he's not an option right now, LT.
He's gonna go down to Ed.
Reports is that he has a deep thigh bruise, but he will be coming back. He's been icing it. Kathleen needs him in that offense right now. They'll run the play action. Man was open, but they can't hit him out there. It was a good-looking play action play, and Adrian Smith had nobody between him and the end zone. If he just could have been hit with the pass, he might have been able to beat one more man. And as McCroy had a good look at his receiver.
Man, he actually on that play right there, they ran like a fake reverse to try to get the defense to bite in the reverse, but both of the defensive ends came down on the quarterback and kind of rushed his throw a little bit.
He brings up a 3rd down and long now as Gerald Duffy was the decoy on the reverse, and he's caught the only 9-yard reception. They run it up the middle. Hit as soon as he crosses the sticks to complete the first down is Edward Taylor. Well, you gotta love Edward Taylor. Playing well on defense, and he gets the call with the Kobe nursing that deep thigh bruise. Move the chains for the Red Devils.
He's a senior. He wants to do what he can to help this team finally break that losing streak. Good run up the middle.
The game's a lot more exciting than that, folks. Trust me, even though there's no score. Well, he's trying to become maybe the first running back and linebacker since Ray Lewis in '92 to help lead this Red Devil team to victory over Lakeland. A hurt Dreadnaughts on the field at the 45-yard line. It's a first down when we come back for the Red Devils right after this. Troy Johnson was the hurt Lakeland Dreadnaught. He helped himself up and went off to the sidelines. He seemed to be okay, just a little shook up. First down now as they give the call for the Red Devils, Mondrell Lathan. And he gets stacked up near the line of scrimmage. As LT, that running game is hurting right now with number 6. And not being able to tote the pill.
Well, both of these teams that have excellent run defenses, they just stack it up there and make plays. You know, as you saw the defensive lineman just shed off the blocker and make the play.
Picked up a couple, if that, a generous spot. As the Red Devils trying to move back into Dreadnaught territory. They'll send Latham again in motion. He gets the call here, trying to send it out wide, and he is wrapped up. Nothing doing. Logan Irby says, welcome to the Dreadnaughts den. And takes him down for a loss on the play, all the way back to the 44-yard line.
Eric, you can't run it wide on these teams, and you can't run it up the middle. They're going to give problems for anybody they face in the playoffs, both of these teams, as far as running the football.
Speaking of playoffs, I'm sure both coaches, you know, you want to win every game.
You want to win, but
next week, Lakeland in Class 5A welcomes in Chamberlain. For Kathleen, they'll welcome in Cocoa. And that is 2 huge first-round games. I mean, those are no pushover opponents. And yet you have to come out here, and win against your arch nemesis across town.
Standing room only.
3rd down and long. McCroy to put it in the air, lofting it deep downfield. There's a collision, and Duffy ran into a couple of Dreadnaughts. His progress downfield was imposed a little bit, but incidental contact. And it's the right call to make. call probably wouldn't have been catchable anyway, even though in high school football every ball is catchable.
Right. Well, that play, I was watching it. They were running 2 seam routes down the field, and he ran into Dobie. Actually, Dobie had a bead on the ball, and he just kind of, he thought he was running the post, but he actually was throwing a takeoff route there.
Coach Castle hoping now that Chris Rainey, standing back at his own 28-yard line, can get outstanding field position. LeVar Thomas again to punt it away as the Dreadnaughts defense holds after giving up 1 first down. High punt will bounce and take a Red Devil roll inside the 20.
Good punt.
Inside the 15-yard line. So Lakeland will take over with that offense that has outscored the opposition this year in the first half, 208-37.
Incredible.
Red Devils offense, no slouch either, but the big men are on the sidelines right now talking over strategy as the defense goes back out and does what it does best. They call them the old, like the Buccaneer, the 3-and-out defense.
These are 2 good defenses, I tell you.
So Chris Griffin spreading them out, has the I formation with his 2 big buddies back there, Chansey and Rainey. Running that speed option to the far side. It's Griffin will keep it himself, and he's dumped as he gets to the 20-yard line. And those big linebackers, and Trent Newton, Bryan, and Taylor, a couple weeks ago, all 3 of them combined for 38 tackles.
Well, you might get 1 or 2, maybe 3, 4 yards here, but these guys know how to tackle. They're well coached. Both teams are well coached. The defensive squads. You're not going to get many yards. The only way, this is going to be a battle of field position, this game, I think, tonight.
Averaging less than 70 yards are the offenses facing Kathleen. Lakeland this year averaging 288 yards on the ground. Griffin to put it in the air, puts it up. Wilson has it. Wilson gets wrestled out at around the 27-yard line. The chain gang over there bailed, but I do believe that he should have a first down. It is a first down for Lakeland.
I told you, Eric, I like this kid Wilson's hand. I like the way he catches the ball. He catches it with his hands. You don't see a lot of young receivers doing that nowadays. Those are those good possession receivers that you need on this high school level.
He's only a sophomore as well.
He's a sophomore, and he'll get better.
He had that diving touchdown.
That's right.
Against Lake Gibson that was impressive.
I think Coach Castle had these kids for a long time.
He's hoping to have them for this game and then 5 more in the postseason. First down for the Dreadnaughts. Newton showing that blitz on the outside. They'll run it the opposite way with Griffin. Griffin gets to the outside, and again, I tell you what, Edward Taylor and Ahmed Black are playing like Devils possessed. Well, I guess Devils are always possessed, but they are quick to the football.
It is some hitting going on out here. These kids are, I'm impressed with both defenses.
Game of the week ticker. Just because it's the last week of the regular season doesn't mean you don't have to call in your scores, whether it's Polk, Pasco, Manatee County, Citrus, Hernando, Pinellas, Hillsboro. You know the deal. Give us a call. You see the scores and you don't see yours, give us a call. We'll put your score down at the bottom of the ticker. Could be running right now. Hope for the same during the playoffs. Griffin to put it in the air. Newton again on the blitz. They go downfield looking for Wilson, but it's not there. Step for step was Ronnie Calloway, a free safety. He was not fooled, and it'll bring up a 3rd down for Lakeland. Coach Castle wanting to go for the big home run right there.
Run. Can't get 1, 2, 3. He wants to go for it all. Good coverage here. Paul Wilson did a good job there of making sure the defensive back didn't catch the football. Sometimes with a wide receiver, you got to turn it over and play defensive back.
Both completions going to Wilson, number 17, who lines up on the far side now. Again, that I formation. And 3rd down and call it a long 6. Again, here come the Red Devils. They pitch it back and Rainey loses the handle on it. He'll try to make something out of definitely nothing. He turns that corner. Look out for Rainey, and a flag comes out at around the 25-yard line. So that play that just was awful from the get-go is going to get worse for Lakeland, barring some defensive mistake by the Red Devils.
Rainey is exciting. I tell you, both these, I'm just so impressed with these teams, both their defenses. These kids really get after each other.
Well, one thing you have to say as well is Chris Griffin, his pitches tonight haven't been pinpoint, and a lot of that has to do with the defense.
He's getting popped in the mouth. It's hard to pitch it when you get popped in the mouth. And that's what most good defenses do to option quarterbacks. They want to pop them in the mouth, make them think about it every time they pitch the ball.
Well, obviously, L-Team, for those of you watching at home, the penalty is going to be declined, and it'll put the line of scrimmage back at the 24-yard line. So a 4th down, a punting situation coming up. Black is back, and he will take it at his own 46-yard line, trying to hit to the near side. Black, oh, he's getting popped. I'll tell you what, you can hear the chin straps clicking from up here. I'm not sure if he got that damage from his own man or number 51, Tim Werner, out there. Regardless, Werner was out there. He'll get credit for the tackle for the Dreadnaughts.
Probably hearing a little noise in his helmet, little silence.
3rd member of our broadcast team is here. He's just keeping it quiet, ready to explode. It's Hawaiian Punch, Eddie Butker.
Thanks, guys. You know what, Eric, our colleague Gerald Holman says he loves Polk County football. It seems like the state of Florida also likes Polk County football. Look at the classifications. Let's get to this play really quick.
Well, the completed Ed for a short gain of about 4 yards out there to Kenneth Bess.
Let's take a look at the classifications in 5A. You got Lakeland ranked 2, Kathleen at 4, and 3A, Lake Gibson, a team we covered last year, at 3, and then in Class A, you have Evangel Christian at 4 and 5. It seems like everybody likes Polk County football around here.
We like Polk County, kind of our bookend for the preseason and getting ready for the postseason. Ended up with week number 10 with some Polk County football. And you got to remember, Evangel Christian and Fort Meade, they played each other mid-season. They were ranked 1 and 2 at that time, and Fort Meade took control of that district. Ed will be back close to the halftime, getting ready to talk to the coaches. 2nd down. McCrory going to put it in the air, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted by the big man up there, Kindred Stewart. A turnover by the Red Devils, and at midfield, their best field position, it's the Dreadnaughts.
Well, when you get hit, Eric, you can't pitch it. Sometimes you can't throw it. Both quarterbacks are getting hit every time they drop back.
So the Dreadnaughts and the big man, Kindred Stewart, comes up with the interception. A 6'2", 282-pounder, the leading tackler on that line of scrimmage, as the ball now on the Red Devil 49-yard line with 5:42 left in the first half.
I think he got hit by John Brown, one of the big defensive linemen.
And that's on the pass attempt. They're already missing a Kobe. Chris Rainey near side, just gets horse collared by Albert McClellan. Call him the coat hanger.
I like that.
Grabbed him by the jersey and said, right here, closet, bam, stop.
Well, they talked about him in the opening. I mean, he can play. He can really, really play.
Chris Rainey's like, you've got to be kidding me.
You've got to be kidding me. I'm averaging 15 yards a carry.
Oh, that average. Not this game. Gets it back to the line of scrimmage. Nice pitch that time to Rainey. Rainey! And that's one of his best carries of the night as he crosses the 45-yard line.
Whoa.
And they'll mark him at around the 43. It'll bring up a 3rd down and call it a long 3 for Lakeland.
Well, one of the reasons why it was one of his best carries of the night, they were able to stretch Kathleen's defense out there. They lined up with 2 slot receivers out there and then stretched them out. And actually, the receivers did a good job of blocking.
That average, or actually that last carry, actually got Rainey tonight back to 0 yards on the night. 4th carry, make it a 3rd down and 5. Griffin to put it in the air, rushes on, he gets rid of it and just throws it away. Nice catch by the coach, Richard Tate. Not good news right now is making his way to the locker room a little early. After we watch this replay, is Mr. Okabe.
Well, there's just nowhere to throw. And you see, there he is, number 13, breathing down his neck again. Both of these quarterbacks are taking some licks tonight.
There goes Okabe. Still has a slight limp. That is just a devastating news right now. It's a good thing the Red Devils have that defense as they force another 3-and-out. high punt takes a Red Devil bounce back toward the 20-yard line. As Justin Burdett, a little bit of pressure that time, he handled it. So the Dreadnaughts get a turnover, LT, but they couldn't do anything with it as Coach Tate's defense is dictating the way this game is played.
You can't say enough about these two defenses. Both of these defenses are playing well, well coached, discipline. Show discipline on option. Offense is really a good thing.
No score. See the time left. Here we'll get the running duties now that Okobe is out. They go far side. It's number 26, Daryl Henley. That's probably the third different ball carrier they've had. They've had Edward Taylor out there. They've also had Mondrell Lathan since Okobe went out with that deep thigh bruise.
Well, you definitely can tell it's a different style of running. Okobe was more up the middle, power football. These guys are more side-to-side shifty. And you can't do that against Lakeland's defense.
Lakeland has to feel the advantage, not seeing Okobe in there, but now they have to go after somebody they really haven't seen carry the football that much on tape. But same scheme. They'll fake it short, now go deep. And it looked like Kenneth Best got tangled up. He was going one way, the football went the other way. They tried to fake the little wide receiver screen out there to Gerald Duffy on the pump fake. And Best couldn't split the defensive backs. They were with him step for step, LT.
You know, like I said, both teams are coached very well on defense. They tried to run that little pump fake, but I really believe the receiver at that time was supposed to run a post corner. And that's where the quarterback threw it. But even there, it was still well defensed.
Antoine McCoy, who earlier had his 5th interception, and that was due to the Dreadnaughts defense hitting his arm, popping the ball up, and Kindred Stewart caught it at midfield. That was the last possession. And his last incompletion. Probably going to throw it here on the 3rd down and 9. McCoy looking, has his man Best wide open, and he gets hit again, and a flag comes out. George Allen that time, he's yelling at the official. He needs to control those emotions because he's probably getting flagged for a late hit on the quarterback.
Better watch it. There's a screen pass all the way.
The passer call against Lakeland.
You know, that's
11, you're 3 feet away from it.
You got a little bit of on the field action down there.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, and an automatic 1st down.
That's the second big 15-yarder against Lakeland.
Second big one.
After the yardage mark out,
But you know what, Eric?
Kathleen.
Both of these teams play so good defense, it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters.
It just gets the field position battle a little bit back more in the Red Devils' pocket. Just makes Coach Castle.
He's going to turn it up.
Yeah, trying to scheme a little bit more. It's like playing chess, trying to keep a couple moves ahead. And that move did not work. Draw play goes backwards to the 34-yard line. As that time getting his second carry, Mondrell Lathan says, man, where'd all those Dreadnaughts come from? They were waiting for me in the backfield.
It just doesn't matter what both offenses do. These guys on defense, they're bringing it.
Well, tonight, I think both of these teams, if they've been fans of the game of the week, which I'm pretty sure they have been, the guys like Kindred Stewart are saying a defensive player will get that little trophy at the end of the game. The little helmet that could, that says Channel 47 on it. Loss of 4, 2nd down and 14. And they pitch it this way. Face mask in there, nobody calls it. And then it was a nice pull on the jersey. Lathan again. Mondrell Lathan, just a sophomore, 5'6", 155, probably getting more carries tonight than he has all season because Okobe is out with that deep thigh bruise. Could be history in the making, but right now, as LT says, this is just a defensive stalemate.
See Victor, see Jamar Taylor making the tackle there. It's just a defensive stalemate. Both teams just...
Jamar's another one of those young super softs for Lakeland. Good baseball player. 3rd down and long coming up for Kathleen. Again, trying to go deep. Has his man out there. It's thrown up, and Duffy makes the catch. Will say he's out of bounds. An outstanding grab by number 19, Gerald Duffy. Looking like leaping Lamar Thomas. But they say he's out of bounds.
I don't know if I could have made that catch. It was a great catch, great throw. But you know what I always say? I've never seen a pass completed overthrown. And actually jumped up and made a great play. Just wish he could have kept that 1 foot in bounds.
And we'll get a great look at it here as Kindred Stewart again just wreaking havoc in the middle of the field. Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
You can't complete a pass if the ball's thrown out of bounds. The quarterbacks have to give the receivers a chance, an opportunity to catch the ball.
Well, McCroy says, I'm going to hit one of those sooner or later. Thomas with the punt. Rainey takes it at the 29-yard line. He's spun by McClellan. Might have spun him for a huge gain. Rainey to the far side. It takes a lot to spin him down. He's like a washing machine out there. He just keeps spinning. And he finally gets taken out of bounds at around the 37. So with 1:27 left, Lakeland trying to move the football to get some points on the board.
And we saw that in the preseason game where he just did not want to go down. You know, you grab him, you spin him around. He just keeps working. He keeps working hard. One arm tackle. He won't go down on an arm tackle.
And of course, Edward Taylor.
Unless you're Albert McCullum.
Right now, the two defensive guys we're looking at, Edward Taylor and Kindred Stewart. On defense, the guys whose numbers keep on getting called. Start calling this the battle for the little helmet for every game of the week. Griffin going downfield, looking for Wilson. Wilson was wide open as Ronnie Callaway was basically covering 2 deep pass plays, and he was not going to be able to catch. He was pointing, he said, look at a guy streaking down the middle, and Wilson was wide open on the sidelines.
Well, the reason why this was overthrown, he got 1 second to throw that ball before he was going to get hit, and he kind of rushed it. He was wide open. Wilson was wide open. But then again, that's that quarterback pressure that both quarterbacks have gotten all night long.
Both quarterbacks only a couple completions. Stacking 5 guys up on that line of scrimmage again for Kathleen. Griffin saying, watch him on the outside. Here comes the man. He's been after me all night long, and that is number 8. No, a big pop. And that's a huge hit out there by LeVar Thomas. That's because Griffin was worried about Edward Taylor coming from behind, but instead it's LeVar Thomas with the neck breaker there.
Well, he might be my cousin, making hits like that.
You got to give a little of that to Trent Newton coming from the sides as well.
What kind of look like, huh?
A little bit. Your bizarro self. A little shorter and playing defense. Gain of 5 on the play. Clock winding down here in the first half. Griffin looking to the near side, throws it, flips it out there. Wilson again just can't catch up to it, much to the dismay of those Dreadnaught fans over there. He's just missing number 17. And he's getting some separation from the DBs. That'll bring up a 4th down with 32 seconds. Time to punt it away again.
They ran a naked play-action pass there, and they had him Wilson run down and run a post corner route. And actually, they just missed it. It's a good play call.
And then Black standing back at his own 25-yard line. Again, Justin Burdett to punt it away. McCroy says, man, we need good field position. Let me wing one of these downfield. I'm going to complete one sooner or later. Burdett, the rush is on. Line drive kick. Taking it is the up man, Ronnie Callaway. Callaway to the near side, and he is just dragged down quickly on the far side by the Dreadnaughts special teams unit.
We haven't had much offense tonight, Eric.
I bet you next week we're going to have some offense in the first round of the playoffs when you talk about those two teams and the different attacks they have with the balanced attack. Another rematch of 2 outstanding playoff teams in round 1 of the playoffs in Class 4A. We'll talk about all the playoff matchups this Monday on Prep Sports Beat. And it's Monday at 6 o'clock. All the classifications, and now Kathleen has to burn a timeout. Why not? Both teams have plenty of TOs. We also have O's on the scoreboard. We'll take a quick break, come back, and tell you where we will be in week number 1 of the playoffs right after this. Armwood and Countryside. You know the story about the Armwood Hawks and having to forfeit a game. They're probably going into that with a little chip on their shoulder. Against Harrison Beck, he's going to Nebraska, the future Cornhusker. Man loose is Daryl Henley. He gets across midfield, picks up the first down. Timeout called by the very astute Gerald Duffy, the senior out there, as he calls a timeout with 18 seconds left, as Kathleen gets the ball to the 45-yard line.
Well, this is the only way you're going to pick up yards when either one of these two defenses, they're in prevent defense. You're not going to break a tackle. You're not going to break many tackles. Both these teams' defenses tackle well.
Coach taking down his quarterback and his receiver, McCroy and Gerald Duffy. Favorite target for McCroy. As they're now in Hail Mary mode. They've only burned a couple of timeouts. They could always get down to where the Devils could kick a long field goal. They do have Clint Slappy, and they also have Jeremy Ettinger. The last name rings a bell as somebody who could kick just in case Clint Slappy cannot hit from that distance. Oh, the little devil. That could be the Disney Grad Night fan of the game. Bib not included.
His Grad Night tickets on layaway or something?
From the I formation, they'll quickly throw it out here to Duffy. Duffy's going to try to get out of bounds. The senior making an outstanding play as he picks up the first down inside the 30-yard line with 13 seconds remaining. Just a tad under 13 seconds. Another completion as McCroy moving the chains. Very effective offense right now, LT.
I like what Duffy did there. He didn't waste any time. He gave one move and it was all upfield. You know, a lot of times guys try to do a little wiggle waggle here and there, and they lose a lot. You go backwards, but you don't have time. You're trying to get the ball as far as you can and get out of bounds at the same time.
Well, you're seeing time management.
Exactly.
Fans of the game of the week, remember at the end of last week's game, time management was huge. Whether it's at the end of the first half or obviously at the end of the game, this is a young man in Duffy on the last two plays has known the situation.
Exactly.
Calling a timeout, getting out of bounds. And the coaches had a plan here.
Senior.
Similar formation, but now showing it to the far side of the field. They stop it with 10 seconds left, and they'll wind it down a couple more seconds. McCroy, rush is on. He's got to get out of trouble to save himself some field goal range. Has his man, it's complete. Complete to Kenneth Bess. Bess and Kathleen burn their final timeout at the 20-yard line with 2.1 seconds left. Send out the field goal unit.
Did a good job finding some time here. When you have speed, you can do that. Makes an excellent throw, good catch.
We're going to line up for a 36-yard field goal thanks to McCroy on another completion, this time to his big wide receiver, 6'3" target, Kenneth Bess. So back-to-back completions to Duffy and Bess. And they've moved into field goal range thanks to also a run by Daryl Henley. Not to be confused with Don Henley. So the field goal attempt of 36 yards will be the final play. Jeremy Ettinger will be the holder. Could be the first score of the ball game. Slappy. Kick is good. McCroy.
That could be big, Eric.
With a Kobe and the running game in the locker room, their teammates will join him, and they'll join him with a 3-0 lead, and that is big considering the defensive slugfest we've had thus far. We're at the half here of the 2004 regular season finale. Both teams ranked. Lakeland undefeated. Kathleen has the lead. It's 3-0. High school football. right here on Bright House Networks, Channel 47. Eric Keaton welcoming you back to halftime, where it's 3-0. The Kathleen Red Devils with that last-second field goal made by Clint Slappy, 36 yards. They're enjoying the 3-0 lead, but right now we ask you to enjoy the Dreadnaughts, a marching band.
Yabba-dabba-doo. Next, boys and girls, hang loose and get jazzy while the band performs the Pink Panther.
Three to nothing. Score hasn't changed. It's still halftime. Eric Keaton, Lamar Thomas, and Eddie B. ready to bring you the second half. But first, let's take a look at those first half highlights as defense just controlled from the beginning of the telecast, and all started with a little fumble as Antoine Nelson just a super hit on Rainey, and Kathleen had great field position, couldn't do anything with it.
Couldn't do anything with it because both defenses played well. They did a great job of stringing them out there.
In the second quarter, Kathleen on the move, but Kindred Stewart got the tip ball and got the interception, as he really is a force right now for the Dreadnaughts defense. If he wasn't picking off passes, if the Dreadnought offense couldn't move it, he was still making tackles.
Oh man, they were all over the place. He was all over the place. Both defenses played extremely well the first half.
And Chris Griffin trying to get away from number 8. He's been the defensive playmaker. Edward Taylor getting some help from LeVar Thomas, and also the big guy Trent Newton. But eventually superior pass plays would set up a late field goal. A couple of pass plays going out to Duffy and then to Kenneth Best, setting up Clint Slappy with 2 seconds left, our only score from 36 yards out.
Hey, how can you go wrong with the kicker who wears golden shoes?
And with a name like Slappy.
Slappy.
Hey, it's 3-0, and that is our score right now. as McCroy headed off to the locker room, and you can see our numbers right now, passing-wise. The Red Devils got it going there, basically in their 32nd offense, you could say, LT. But rushing game, both defenses just dominating right now.
Yeah, most of the yards for Kathleen were in that last drive, but I mean, both defenses, like I said, have just played extremely well. I mean, the score should be 0-0, but Kathleen was able to move the ball in that last drive, get a couple that run on the first prevent defense and the 2 passes, and they got themselves in the field goal position.
Chris Rainey coming in, averaging less than 16 yards per carry. He has 4 carries, no yards for Lakeland. Kobe, who went off before halftime, is now working the bicycle, trying to work out the kinks of that deep thigh bruise. Put some ice on it. He left the game early, but they hope to have him back. 6 carries and 18 yards for number 6. We'll take a break and come back with the start of the 3rd quarter right after this. Kathleen will get the football to start the 2nd half, but before you hear from Eric Keaton and Lamar Thomas, let's hear from Eddie B.
All right, guys, I talked to Coach Tate at the half. He said the guys played a good first half, but they got to play a great second half. They got to play hard and keep up the intensity. They just play Kathleen football. An update on running back Marcus Okobi. He has the deep thigh bruise. They're going to evaluate him and see if he can go. He wasn't here earlier riding the exercise bike, so we'll see if he makes his game.
Well, Ed, he was ready to run out on the field, but they told him to get back to the sidelines and work it out just a little bit more. He'll take off his helmet and have a seat. He might have to wait a series or 2. So Antoine McCroy will get set to start opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Their own 36-yard line. They had a trio of different backs in there trying to fill that void, but he's back on that exercise bike. They went to that passing game. McCroy's going to keep it here, trying to get the outside. Nothing doing. George Allen says, "Where are you going, young man?"
George Allen says, "Put my name in the hat for play of the game also, man." You guys highlighted me in the beginning. I'm still here.
Number 35 of the Dreadnaughts, Logan Irby.
George Allen's still there with his 81 tackles, 15 for loss.
Good form tackle.
No gain on the play. Quick first half is ball. A lot just staying on the ground. Hit at the line of scrimmage, nothing doing. Dreadnaughts trying to strip that ball away from the young sophomore, Mondrell Lathan. He was popped by Jamar Taylor as soon as he got in the hole. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, but another Dreadnaught is down. That will stop the clock. I believe it might be Randy Doby.
That looks like Doby.
And that's devastating. A young man with more than 80 tackles on the season and 24 loss, leading the club. Kathleen will take a knee, bringing up a 3rd down and long. They'll help Doby off, and looks to be okay. He just probably got the wind knocked down him. Don't want to speculate, but he'll have to sit out of play.
You know, Doby is Riddell Anthony's cousin. The great wide receiver from the University of Florida, Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
Well, it looked like it was a helmet-to-helmet shot. Doby got hit with one of those overhand rights from George Foreman.
Antonio Tarver punches.
I interviewed Antonio once.
Did he talk in 3rd person?
Well, yeah, he wanted. It was before he finally got his shot.
Antonio Tarver says hello.
The title. Put it up in the air again. His man was open. He gets hit just a little too high that time for Gerald Duffy. If he would have caught it, he would have had the 1st down. Believe it or not, they attacked the spot where Doby went out. Troy Johnson is able to disrupt the pass play, but it's a little too high.
They call this type of pattern a little pop route across the middle. And actually, it's named pop because he probably would have got popped on that play, and he did get popped.
Troy Johnson is usually the intercepting kind, not doing too many pops. That's usually Doby's job, but Johnson, the free safety, did the damage. Rainey backs away from this punt, and rightfully so, as it takes a Dreadnaught roll back toward midfield. They'll down it at the 46-yard line, so A very short punt of only 21 yards for Kathleen, and exceptional field position for the Dreadnaughts to start their first possession. 10:35 left in the third quarter. Griffin. And his offense, it's averaging more than 40 points a game, shut out. And again, I said they outscored the opposition 208-37 in the first half during the regular season. The closest game was against Durant, 21-18. Other than that, they just blew everybody out, and the flag comes out.
Sideline warning against Kathleen. It's a warning, no penalty yards on the first warning.
So don't do it again. In other words, from Bob Greco.
See, in the pros, they have a sideline coach. He's usually
he yells one word, back.
He's usually a weightlifting coach. You know, big guy. Get back, get back, get back.
He's like Van Helsing. Back,
yeah,
back. From the eye. Chansey up the middle. The big fullback gets to midfield, and his forward progress will be stopped after about 4 yards. Remember Steve Chansey at 5'10". They list him at 237. Got some big shoulder pads in there. He's got like bowling balls underneath there.
Keeps his feet moving, getting positive yards there.
Darrell Lake, number 12, getting a lot of PT tonight, along with his bookend buddy Albert McClellan. Those two guys helping to make the tackle.
You know, I got to say this, but that devil down there, that Kathleen devil, he looks like Ray Lewis a little bit. I didn't want to say it, but he does. Built like him.
I'll tell you what, this Dreadnaught running the football is built as well.
Now, what is a Dreadnaught?
It's the ship, man. It's the ship. And not to call you out and say if you would have gotten here a little bit early, but Lakeland, because Kathleen is not allowing them to bring the horn and the whole get-up that they have over there at the stadium. You know, Kathleen showcases the look-alike there that you're saying looks exactly like Ray Lewis. Probably just the muscles there, but they brought the ship by as soon as Lakeland was arriving, and the horn and the Dreadnought is basically like a battleship.
Battleship, okay.
Move the chains for the Dreadnoughts. The ship is rolling into Kathleen's harbor here as they're getting into scoring position. They cross the 45 down to the 40-yard line. So first down as Griffin keeps it.
Quarterback sneak. You like that play, don't you?
Most exciting play in football, the quarterback sneak. I love the quarterback draw. But I just think the quarterback sneak is that much better.
Well, the quarterback draw is only good when you have a quarterback who can run.
Safe to say what we're looking for, LT, here is we're probably going to have an offensive showcase any moment now. The first team that scores a touchdown, everybody will just let loose.
You think so?
Could happen. Griffin's going to throw it wide open. Receivers, Eric Jean, touchdown, Dreadnaughts. Reverse strike for a touchdown.
Well, they sucked him in on that play. Little play action fake.
41-yard touchdown for Coach Castle. He'll take it.
Wide open, little play action fake here. Fake to the fullback, fake the option, action. And that throws the corner, and that was able to let him get behind him.
Extra point is no good. William Chapman. Coach Castle says not a problem. We're ahead 6-3. And LT, you pointed out the play action. And the battleship just fired a couple of shots.
You know, right here, you're watching when he comes out here for the option. All that's set up because of the fear of Chris Rainey. That's why the corner froze there. He had to come up and respect that, because if Chris Rainey gets to that corner, he can take it all the way at any time. And that's why Eric Jean was able to sneak behind him. He did a good job of running that route. He kind of came off half-stepping. Then he accelerated as soon as, you know, he felt the quarterback breaking free.
It's his 6th touchdown of the season, his only reception. Biggest offensive play of the night.
Well, you called it. Now let's see if it happens.
Yeah, well, Kathleen has to
do their part. An offensive explosion.
It could happen.
I don't know. These defenses are too tough.
Kathleen not known to give up big plays. Remember, in 7 games this year, they've given up 7 points or less. They're on track for that right now. Again, another little pooch kick, just trying to keep it away. A big return, guys. Black, though, he's been known to take it the distance, and Black, still outstanding field position, gets it back to the 37-yard line. Black took it for a touchdown a couple weeks ago against Lake Wells on the kickoff return. And it'll be up to Antron McCroy to get his offense in gear. And guess who's back out there? And he is fired up. Kobe talking to his offense out there, waiting for his quarterback to get ready. See if this football came loose, but Kathleen still has it. It was up on his back. Not sure if they saw it or if he actually got it back in the breadbasket. They throw it out here, and the timing pass pattern to Kenneth Bess is way off route.
Well, see, Kathleen right now is thinking, hey, we had some success throwing the little short, quick routes. You know, let's go back to it. But one thing about it, Lakeland's not in that prevent defense anymore.
It also looked like both receivers were running the same route, and they looked like they were hoping to have somebody to stay back and catch it. Both guys actually didn't want to stay back and catch it. They wanted to go downfield and be the blocker.
Somebody ran the wrong route.
So it's 2nd down and 10 coming up on their own 36-yard line.
You know what? I hate to say the receivers were wrong. The quarterback threw it wrong.
He should have just thrown it downfield, let somebody run underneath. Kobe looking for his first carry. He got 6 on the night. He'll have 7 now as he barrels his way forward to the 41, picks up 5 yards. He'll go over the 20-yard mark. This is a kid that's averaging more than 100 yards per game, but he still has a few more carries to go to reach that average.
You can see him dragging that leg there, but he's so big and so powerful, it doesn't matter.
So Kobe met number 11, George Allen. Very important for Kathleen also to realize plenty of game left just because they're down by 3 and give up the touchdown.
That leg is heavily padded there. You see that right leg.
And just in case they don't convert here on 3rd down, they've only done it once. The game is far cry from over, and now a penalty comes out. It looks like Kathleen's going to be moving
Dead ball,
back.
false start, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
I think Logan Irby was so excited he almost punched himself silly on the far side, so fired up that the offense had moved. Tell you what, you have to love high school football. I mean, all coaches on all levels keep coaching, but watching Coach Castle and Coach Tate out there, they're constantly looking, surveying, know exactly what to call, know their players, figuring out each other's moves.
Well, I was very
Which play will work.
I was very impressed with meeting both of these coaches. They do a good job of coaching these kids.
Duffy goes in motion. McCroy to put it in the air. He's rushed by Irby, throws it downfield, and it is caught. Unbelievable reception by Gerald Duffy. McCroy paid the price because Logan Irby just buried him in the ground, but it is a 1st down all the way up to the 40-yard line of Lakeland.
He took a shot, Eric. Did a good job of getting rid of this ball, but he takes a shot right here. That's a tough quarterback for you. He knows he's going to get hit. He releases the ball, and what a super catch. Duffy went down there and got that ball, scooped it up.
They convert on 3rd down, LT, on a 3rd down and 10. McCroy going to put it in the air, and it's caught for it. Could go all the way. Touchdown, Kathleen. Trevon Hargrett, they forgot about him, and the tight end explodes for a 40-yard touchdown.
No pop pass, same pass they tried earlier with Duffy, but it's all set up off the play fake. Sucks the linebacker in, lob it over his head.
The Red Devils retake the lead. Here comes the offensive explosion, LT.
That's right, here it is. No pop pass right over the middle.
So we've had a 41-yarder and a 40-yard back-to-back touchdown drives by each squad, except Clint Slappy. He made a field goal and he makes extra points. It's now 10-6, Kathleen on top.
You said it, Eric. Are you playing a lot of tonight?
No.
If you were, I was going to play your number.
Number 9 right now scored both touchdowns.
Simple play there. It had to be a blown cover somewhere in there. And I'm sure it all had to be set up for play action.
The junior tight end gives the home crowd the explosion in the stands as this place just came to life. I mean, look at all the fans surrounding the gymnasium in the end zone that he was running to. It's just unbelievable. His only reception of the night, only reception for Eric Jean, both the guys starting to get involved in the game plan. But the crowd tonight is just tremendous.
Standing room only.
It is about 5 to 8 persons deep, even more so once you get in that area right there, getting ready to walk into Johnny Johnson Stadium. This is the type of crowds that really happen just about every week here in Polk County, and for the other counties to watch, this is the Friday Night Lights. This is what it's all about. A mix-up in the backfield between Jean and the football's loose. Who's got it? It's Red Devil football. Opportunity knocks for the Red Devils. A huge recovery by R.J. Island after the Lakeland Dreadnaughts return duo collide and never recovered.
You know, I was surprised they decided to kick the ball down to Chris Rainey, and it looked as though Eric Jean was like, I'll take it, and then he slips, and Chris Rainey can't pick it up because Eric Jean slipped under him.
R.J. Island out. Marcus Okobe is in. The Red Devil fans Coach Tate, the holdup is he's trying to get the cheerleaders to move out of the way. The ball is resting outside the 10-yard line at the 12. Power formation right now for Kathleen. They give it to Okobe, and Okobe gets inside the 10. Here's the kickoff fumble again, right from the tee, LT.
I think this ball went a little deeper than they thought. Eric Jean slipped. Chris Rainey tries to pick it up, then Eric Jean tries to pick it up, and you got to fall on it at that point. You got to fall on it.
It might have been Calvin Fletcher that caused the disruption after the Jean and Rainey tried to pick it up, but R.J. Island fell on it, and it's now 2nd down and 8 for Kathleen as they just scored and trying to score again. Okobe getting another carry. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe another yard. That's about it. It'll bring up a 3rd down and long. They can pick up a 1st down inside the 2 for Coach Tate and his quarterback, Antoine McCroy.
You might see some play action here. Maybe a play action rollout pass.
Got a lot of room over here on this near side as they are on the far side hash.
Just rolling out to the right. That'll be a good play for him.
They'll call it 3rd down and 6 to see if they have the big. Watch these over here. They don't have anybody. It's Hardrick. It's the near side tight end.
Watch Hardrick sneaking to the back of the corner in the end zone. There he is.
McCroy to the far side. Throws it up and it's intercepted. This could go back the other way. It's intercepted by Troy Johnson. Johnson's at midfield and he'll have a turnover for Lakeland. Well, flag is resting back at the Dreadnought 30-yard line. But LT, we were totally wrong, fooled on the play, but the Dreadnoughts defense makes a stand. They weren't fooled, and they pick up the interception.
Well, I said right when they snapped the ball, Eric, watch the tight end coming across the back of the end zone, even though they went to the left side. And actually, the Lakeland defense did a great job of staying at home.
Kathleen still trying to keep that momentum going. Let's hear the call from Bob
After change
Greco.
of possession, illegal block in the back on the return team, penalized 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Lakeland retains possession, 1st down.
And again, we thought it's coming right toward the camera into your living room, but it goes to the far side.
Well, it's hard to ask your quarterback to roll to the left and throw back to the right. Here it is, Hargreaves coming across the middle. They're just staying at home. They did a good job there.
You have to like the execution by Deontay Parker, not fooled as he ran out of the quarterback's face. And Troy making his 5th interception of the season, the free safety, and he sets up his teammates just inside their own 20-yard line. Well, they hand it off up the middle again, the big fullback. There's now some pushing and shoving going on as tempers begin to flare as Chancey, you see the flag come out across the screen. Chancey was still down, but he finally gets back up.
Now, if they're going to call it correct here, they should call offsetting penalties.
Yeah, there's 2 flags out there on the field.
There's flags coming from everywhere, but they need to call this offsetting penalty. I said it earlier in the game. This way you let the players know that the officials are in charge. See, that's a good call.
And a double foul.
You got to let them know.
Well, for Florida fans, they don't want to see the Florida fiasco. They want to see it this way, not like what happened in the Tennessee game.
On the offense, dead ball, unsportsmanlike. On the defense, the penalties offset, 2nd down.
It's usually the second guy who gets caught, but both of them were pushing back and forth. Actually, they pushed down one of the referees there.
Now, Lamar, in the old days, they used to walk off both penalties. They'd walk up 15 yards and they'd walk back 15 yards and say, "Oh, it's offset."
Yeah, that's a little bit too much.
5-yard gain by Chancey. He's been the most effective back thus far for Lakeland. And they give this one to Rainey. Rainey, waiting for his moment, gets up to the 30-yard line. He should have enough for a 1st down for the Dreadnaughts.
A lot of tempers flaring out there. And Rainey's averages come down a lot tonight.
Well, remember at midseason we were talking about on Prep Sports Beat in the high school scoreboard, he was averaging 18 yards a carry then. But the biggest thing was he'd only touched the ball less than 70 times on the season. That's what's so amazing.
Right.
Well, Kobe, it looks like some of those guys in Claremont going up Sugarloaf Mountain. Real slow on the bike. But he's working out those muscles, trying to get his legs ready to get back in the game. Chancey again, the fullback, gets up to the 32-yard line. For Chancey tonight, that's his 7th carry.
I'll tell you something, Eric, about those deep dive rules. I had one before. They're tough, especially right now. He'll feel that tomorrow. I guarantee he'll feel it tomorrow. Right now, the adrenaline's still flowing. He can do a little bit of something, but he won't be able to do much. As cold as it is getting, the temperature is dropping. It's going to start to stiffen up on him even more. But tomorrow morning, he will definitely feel that.
Second down and 7 for Lakeland. They'll pitch it back to Rainey. Rainey has a running lane. Rainey may be gone. Watch the speed. He's breaking away. They won't catch him. Touchdown, Dreadnaughts.
That's why he was averaging over 18 yards a carry.
Wow. 67 yards, that'll improve the average. And after that long touchdown run, Lakeland's ahead 12-10.
Oh, they finally let him get outside, and what he does here is he cuts that ball upfield and goes north and south. They were expecting him to go east and west. He cut it upfield, and with his speed, once he gets a crease, he's gone. See ya. You better be in front of him. He throws a move on him. Good move. Good little fake right there, and now he's off to the race. You're not going to catch him. You know, probably this offseason, he'll get bigger and stronger and faster.
That's the way he kicked the extra point to make it 13-10.
He's going to be scary to watch for the next 2 years. Let me tell you. Coach Castle, I guarantee he's going to have this kid in the weight room. He's going to get bigger. Probably have him running track.
Well, I don't know if he should go in that Lakeland weight room. You can get lost in there. That thing's big. It's like a maze. It's a labyrinth. You go in there and you automatically hear echoes. Rainey. Well, it's as I called him at the top of the telecast, the Rain Man has counted more yards. And here he is counting 67 more to add to his total. 13th touchdown, rushing touchdown on the season. Just look at the breakaway speed, that leg kick.
This kid is so fast, he doesn't even have to change, put the ball in his left hand. He can just keep running. You're not going to catch him.
Just a sophomore as Chris Rainey, after the extra point. See those numbers. Remember, after 4 carries, he had no yards. His last 2 carries, he finally got it going. And that's maybe because, the Red Devils aren't going to be as tough up front after 20 and 25 plays as the game starts to wear on a little bit.
Well, you called it, Eric. You said once the first score came, we're going to have an offensive explosion here.
That was a lucky guess.
Yeah, that was a good guess.
Mondrell Lathan back at his 16-yard line. Lathan straight up the middle. Lathan moving that mile. Up to the 47-yard line. Well, another decent start for the Kathleen Red Devils. And they just leave bodies on the floor all the way back. The guy usually returns it. Ahmed Black, he was left back there trying to do some blocking for the young sophomore, but this kid, he was hard to bring down. They couldn't find him in the pile.
Well, they had the middle return set up there, and actually they kicked it straight in the middle, so that gave the offensive team a little advantage as far as setting up the wall.
Aaron Walters eventually drove him down to the turf. So from the 47-yard line, Kathleen has trailed twice. The last time they answered quickly with a touchdown. See what they do here on this drive. From the eye. They'll pitch it out here, and it's off the hands. And nearly picked off. His diving forward was Randy Doby. He goes off the hands of Duffy.
Well, they're very fortunate that ball wasn't intercepted. The ball kind of sailed on him a little bit. Duffy should have, of course, caught it, but like I said, they were very fortunate that ball wasn't intercepted. Got to catch that. Made a great catch earlier. You got to catch that.
A little scoring game on the season for Kathleen. See McCroy's numbers, there's 17 points, and that was the first game of the season. They go straight up the middle to Okobe, and Okobe is shut down. The front 4 for Lakeland, playing with a full head of steam right now. Brings up a 3rd and long. Take a little long for the play to get into McCroy as the offense will send in Adrian Smith, and you can hear the Dreadnaughts. They want that defense. You can hear the chant. They probably have just as many fans over there on that visiting side as the home squad. 3rd down and long. Blitz coming up by the Dreadnaughts. Here they come, and a whistle comes out, and they'll halt play.
Delay a game, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Basically a penalty-free game tonight. I wouldn't say penalty-free, but the yellow flags haven't been flying.
You said it, Eric. They took a long time to get that play, and that already pushed you behind the 8 ball. And, you get in that huddle, you got to get to the line of scrimmage, and hopefully Lakeland doesn't do anything different at the line.
Not bad with 8 penalties in the whole game. They'll run the draw play, and Kobe just gets knocked around. Kindred Stewart in there again, along with Edgar Lewis. Those are just 2 big men. And so the Dreadnought defense holds and forces a 4th down and 13 coming up.
Yeah, they weren't fooled at all. They still know Kobe is a threat for them, and Lakeland's doing a good job of game tackling.
Remember that swing of momentum. Kathleen up 10-6, at least probably could have got a field goal out of that. Instead, after the interception by Troy Johnson, Lakeland ends up with 7 points. They punt it away, and the Red Devils will down it inside the 30-yard line. They'll just roll out of bounds. With 1:17 left in the 3rd quarter, Coach Richard Tate's team now looking to make their defensive stand to get the football back as they trail it by 3. For Kathleen in the 38 previous meetings, has only won 11 games against Lakeland. Lakeland has won the last 10 in a row. In fact, the only time that Kathleen has had a major win streak was back in 69 through 73 when they won 5 in a row. Wow. Win their first since 1992 against the dreaded Dreadnaughts. Griffin back out, Rainey. He'll go with the flow. Chancey now getting his opportunity. Cut number 2, and he's slack. He'll eat you up as well. He gets that clock moving.
What they're able to do here is just, it's always that threat of Rainey getting the ball, so, you lose sight on Chancey up the middle.
Teams have had some pretty popular young men go off to the pros. In fact, Kathleen still has a few players right now. Obviously one, everybody knows about Ray Lewis, still in the game in the NFL. Getting loose against Rainey, he has another first down. He gets across the 45, and they'll stop the clock with 31 seconds to move those chains. So suddenly Rainey now is starting to warm up.
Well, the thing Rainey does, he goes north, and once he makes that first initial cut, he's going north and south. He's not trying to go east and west. If he does, he's going to turn it back around sooner or later. He just wants to go north and south, and he has so much explosion, so much speed that anytime he touches the ball, he just threats to go all the way.
From the 46-yard line, Rainey's numbers still got to love the average. Griffin trying to get loose, running that speed option, nothing doing. A couple of Red Devils are there to take him down. It's number 13 and number 12. Who else would it be? They're coming from the left and right end for the Red Devils. That's the final play of the third quarter. We've picked up the tempo a little bit. It was 3-0 at the half, but right now, Lakeland, 13 points in this quarter. They have the lead over the Red Devils, 13-10, 12 minutes to play in this all-nothing, all-or-nothing game here in Polk County. We're back up. The pros are here. I'm sitting next to one of them. Very high. I mean, Lamar Thomas. I'm sorry. I was statistician. Very high. I had a brain cramp there for a minute. Start the fourth quarter play. Second down coming up for Chris Griffin and his Dreadnaughts. They had the football and the lead, 13-10. Griffin wanted to pitch it back to Rainey. Rainey was just buried. Griffin gets up to midfield. I'll tell you what, I'm in black, said Chris Rainey, if you are getting the football, I'm going to try to time it. He was buried back at the 40-yard line.
I didn't even watch the play. I just saw Rainey go down. Watch it. Boom! Oh, my goodness.
And Coach Castle, he had his eye on it, too. He was out there giving the officials an earful. He was saying, look, my guy just got tackled. He didn't have the football.
He didn't get tackled. He got smashed. I guess that's one way to stop Chris Rainey. Just don't let him get the ball.
Third down and 6 coming up for the Dreadnaughts. Griffin saying, watch out. They're going to blitz me on the outside. It's picked up. Throws down the middle, and it is caught. Paul Wilson. They say he dropped it. Couldn't hold on to it. Looked like he had it. They'll say he didn't have possession. It'll be incomplete.
Well, Paul did a great job of trying to catch that ball with his hands. It's just that he got smashed.
Quarterback got
ball a little high. He did a good job of bringing it down. He got hit.
That was obvious.
Ball is dropped in two places. At the tuck and one in from the hands.
Burdette to punt it away. Black is around his 17-yard line. Kathleen sets up the return. Good looking punt. Racing him back to his 7-yard line, and his knee went down. His knee went down inside the 10-yard line. An outstanding punt, an outstanding coverage by the Dreadnaught Special Teams unit. And it looks like the Red Devils will start out on the 8-yard line. Ahmed Black, one One of those leaders out there on the defense with 5 interceptions, playing the corner spot, trying to make something happen, but really had no choice. He did the best he could and going back in there and returning that punt, and Burdett just got his foot into one. So Kathleen holds after giving up a first down to Rainey. It's 13-10. They trail it by 3. Troy's thrown a couple of interceptions, running that option now with the R.J. Allen, and look out! George Allen catches up to him, but a good-looking run for McCroy. That's his best run of the night.
You know, Eric, on this play here, they did a good job of getting out to the outside. He put a great move here on Deontay Parker to pick up some more yards.
He almost got the first down. He's about a half-yard shy, but it brings up plenty of options on second down and short right now for the Red Devils. Break that power I formation. And they give it to the up man. And that's a Kobe picking up the first down. He gets to the 27-yard line. And a young man playing in pain, but he's a senior. He's played these Dreadnaughts 3 times, lost 3 times, along with these other senior partners. You see him holding that elbow there, too. He's
right.
hurting in the lower body and the upper body. But a victory for the Red Devils tonight will make all those pains go away. Again to Okobe, and Okobe just met head-on by the Dreadnaughts defense. Nothing doing, loose football, but the whistle had already been blown. And I tell you what, the Dreadnaughts defense standing him up.
Right now, Okobe's not going to get the job done at the middle, primarily because Lakeland is very stout up the middle. They're good defense up the middle. You got to try to maybe get it to the corner, maybe do a little play action pop passes or something like that. We were effective early doing that. That's how they scored one of their touchdowns. So I think they should go back to it now.
Kindred Stewart grabbed a hold of his shoulder and just wouldn't let him go and waited for the cavalry to join in. Second down and short, rushes on from behind. McCoy gets out of it. He's scrambling to the near side, trying to pick up a couple of blocks, and he crosses the 35. And he gets positive yardage, and he'll bring up a makeable third down situation, but he almost had one of his teammates commit a clip. But it wasn't called. It was very close, but he almost had his head taken off in the backfield as well.
Yeah, he was almost clobbered right here. He had good pocket presence. He stepped up. And right here, this is going to be close. Oh, I don't know, Eric. Maybe it's the camera angle.
Got his hip.
That head is supposed to be in the front.
Logan Irby just had a bead.
Big third down.
Left team position. Yeah, third down and 3 coming up. They'll put it up in the air, and his man's wide open. It goes off his hands. It was a little high, but a catchable ball for Gerald Duffy. Would have moved the chains. He had so much cushion out there on the far side against Andre Walker.
You'd love to see the kid catch this. Duffy has played well so far, but you know, this almost like a read pattern here. It looks like they were on the throw to fade, and the more the defensive back pushed off, they just hooked up with like an underthrown pass here. You got to make that catch.
Punted away again. LeVar Thomas and some movement up front. Lakeland pointed out, said, hey, look, we got guys on the left side moving over here. Back them up 5 yards and make them punt it again. Or make a punt it for the first time. Kathleen at 8-1, Lakeland 9-0. Lakeland's used to this undefeated season stuff.
Dead ball, false start, offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
Coach Tate can only laugh about that one a little bit. Castle looking for that big return, and guess who's back there to return it at his own 44-yard line. LeVar Thomas is a little high, and he just gets rid of it. It'll take a Kathleen bounce as Chris Rainey just watches it roll to a stop. It'll be downed out there by Antonio Turner.
Boy, Dobie was close to getting that, blocking that punt. He was so close. Turner did a great job of getting this ball off. And so you can tell he's well taught.
You know, everybody, most guys like to go towards the punter, but what you try to do is when you try to block a punt, you go 1 foot ahead of the punter. You try to catch the ball at the point.
So from that I formation, the Lakeland Dreadnaughts with the football and the lead, 13-10. They'll give it to Rainey. Rainey trying to bounce that outside. Is dancing around looking for any type of running lanes. He'll pick up a couple of yards to the 42-yard line.
You know, Rainey, once he makes his move, you know, most guys slow down, but he can start back up so fast. I mean, he's just jittering it up in the air and move. 1 move, 2 move, 1 move, another move, but he's still going forward.
I think he took himself down there.
That's the only way to tackle him.
He's a special player in the making. Eric Jean, the near side receiver, Wilson to the top of the screen. It'll be a 2nd down and 8.
They're not in the rush to snap this ball.
Griffin's going to put it in the air. Running with the rush on him. Griffin gets rid of it. Looking downfield, Wilson, and a flag's going to come out. They're going to call Ronnie Callaway. The little pass interference, a couple flags come out. One at around the 40, and one back where the ball was thrown to. And when I said Griffin gets rid of it, he actually, what I was wanting to say was he gets rid of McClellan.
Wow. You know I'm going to always...
The offensive pass interference, we're going to lose it down, too.
I'm going to always side with the receiver here. You know,
2nd down right there, right?
The receiver's trying to make a catch. You know, the kid fell down.
Pass interference, offense, 15-yard penalty, also carries a loss of down, brings up 3rd down.
That is a huge penalty.
There should never be an offensive penalty. Those guys are pushing us around left and right. Look, that's not, he just slips. Offensive guys never commit offensive penalties.
Well, maybe a no call. The first inclination is to say that defense did it.
They always do it.
It looked like just incidental contact. Red Devils, their fans coming to life. They're saying, please, my teammates, make a play. Griffin, he's throwing it deep, looking for Wilson. Wilson has it! An incredible catch! He has it for a huge 1st down for Lakeland all the way to the 31-yard line. They go 34 yards on the completion.
He comes back and makes up for it. You know what they did? They just flooded they sent 2 guys straight up the field, made the defensive back make a choice. They were in like a cover 4 defense, made him make a decision. He just sneaks behind him.
That's a 3rd reception on the night for Wilson, now for 50 yards. And it's a 1st down for Lakeland.
Now they're taking their time, Eric.
And they'll give it to their rainmaker. The rain man, he's trying to count more yards. Let's go to Ed Botker for the Disney Dreadnaught fan of the game. Go ahead, Eddie.
All right, guys, it's time for the Disney Dreadnaught fan of the game, and we got some wild fans right here. Our Disney Dreadnaught fan of the game, and Buck, we tell him what he's won.
Yes, we got my man to see. What's your name, dog?
Number 1, Anthony Gill.
We got still the win. We got the man to see.
All right, Anthony. Hey, wait. You see how crazy they are? They've been like this all game. But, Anthony, you got something else from Disney. Michael Potteray from Disney, tell him what he's won.
Hey, Anthony.
This is Rainey. Rainey will have a 1st and goal.
Rainey's down right now. Rainey's down.
We have 2 tickets for you to Walt Disney World. Have a great time. Enjoy those tickets.
That's it. Show him the hat. Show him the hat. Show him the hat.
Rainey is hurt right now. I hope the fans listening in at home could understand that, because we couldn't hear it up here in the booth, but it obviously looked like they were having
a lot of
too
fun.
much fun as Ed Botker tried to keep it in control. So let's see Rainey if he twisted something or if he's just getting a little breather.
It's going to get high-low right here. One guy hit him. Kind of got twisted weird. And you know everybody on that Lakeland side right now is holding their breath right now. This falls weird. I don't know if it's his arm.
We'll take a timeout and check on Chris Rainey's status. 13-10 is our score. And the Lakeland Dreadnaughts, they helped Rainey off the field as he was given a mini standing ovation. Griffin now trying to take it in himself. Touchdown, Lakeland!
A lot of these teams in this area run this play. It's like a little read option play where the quarterback basically reads the defensive end. If the defensive end comes down on the running back, he keeps it himself. And then, you know, it's basically a one-on-one situation with a linebacker on the outside.
Running for his number, 7 yards. 10th touchdown rushing on the season, and no good. Another missed extra point makes it 19-10. The second missed extra point by the Dreadnaughts field goal kicker tonight, William Chappelle. So Coach Castle has to be shaking his head. I guess next time the score will have to go for 2 unless we've kept our opponent at the same number. But with Rainey on the side, call number 7.
That read option play. That's a good play. You can only run that type of play with a good running quarterback. You can't run it with a Dan Marino type quarterback.
Griffin on the sidelines. Defense will hope to hold a 9-point lead as the Red Devils already have their special teams kick return unit out there. They're like, come on, let's do this. Let's do this. We got 6:31 left in this ball game. No time to talk.
A couple missed opportunities for Kathleen. You know, a couple drop passes that could have kept the drive going. Sure, when they look back on this game tape, that's what they're going to see.
Mondrell Lathan standing back just inside the 10. And it'll be a very short kick. Nice job on the fair catch by Antoine Nelson of Kathleen. As again, it's pretty good field position up at around the 37-yard line for Kathleen. Beef O'Brady's the pregame mill today, and Bill Bosco, the owner out there, and they always have an outstanding spread, but I have to give credit where credit is due. When you come out to Polk County, teams like Lake Gibson and Kathleen fire up the grill. And I think that grill's name was Betsy over there because that thing put out some outstanding barbecue chicken, and we'd like to thank them a lot. And thank you very much, says Edgar Lewis on the quarterback takedown, a passing situation down by 9. And Kathleen just gets set back in a huge hole as Lewis, number 99, comes up with a big quarterback takedown.
Well, Lakeland realizes that one way the Kathleen kills you is they get that quarterback out of the pocket and they like to roll him left and right.
Who got hit harder?
He did a good job of just keeping contained on the quarterback.
Loss all the way back to the 25-yard line. They lose 12 yards on the play. And now Kathleen, the clock moving, and the deficit at 9. And the slant pass pattern goes behind the receiver, Gerald Duffy, and now you start to have some of those kids out there showing the emotion. Well, that starts to spell out defeat.
I know Duffy's probably a little upset, but at the same time, you got to make every catch that's thrown to you. You got at least, he had a big drop on that 3rd down drive. That was a huge drop. You hate to see that. But on that one, the quarterback kind of threw it behind him, and I know he's a little frustrated because he really wants to make up for that 3rd down conversion that they missed.
Last year, Coach Tate's team was undefeated. Lakeland was 6-3. They thought they would have their number in a game played at Lakeland. Another incomplete pass brings up an obvious 4th down and long punting situation. The Coach Tate's team was undefeated, finished the regular season undefeated, but didn't play that 10th game against Lakeland, who was 6-3. They skipped it, doing an outbreak of viral meningitis. And of course, even I got calls from some Kathleen supporters talking about all types of conspiracy theories. Even one fan today said it was miraculous how they were ready to play the next week in the first round against Hillsborough, which they did lose.
Right.
Probably due to lack of practice time, because that was a Polk medical director ruling that the game would not be played in order to contain what was happening over at Lakeland High School with some of their football players. But to this day, they'll be talking about the game that was not played, and Kathleen still thought they would have their number. But 5:31 and counting left in this game, and anything can happen, as we saw last week when Dixie had an 11-point lead and almost gave that one away.
Kathleen didn't have enough people on the line of scrimmage.
Well, I hate to use a Dungy cliche, but they're out of sync right now. We're out of sync.
Illegal formation on the offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. Lakeland retains the ball, first down.
Actually, the cliche is we're just not in sync.
Well, I hope you're not in sync. Aren't they a boy band?
No, that's definitely true. I'm not part of that group.
No, me neither.
Well, the Dreadnaughts have not sunk all season long. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, their closest game was against Durant, 21-18. They held on to win that game. Well, just keep it on the ground here with the big fullback. Jancy is now, Kathleen hopes to force a 3-and-out and just erase that last possession and start all over.
Start thinking about the player of the game, Eric.
Sure, Kathleen says this game's not over yet. Still may call a team in red number, big red out here in Polk County.
I'm trying to see if I can find Mr. Chris Rainey on the sideline. I don't see him. He's definitely not in the ball game right now.
They go far side, Jamar Taylor. He's another youngin'. He's a sophomore. They probably have seen the last of Chris Rainey, as he did walk off under his own power. But next week they have a date against Chamberlain, and Coco will travel here to Kathleen.
A little misdirection play here. Yeah, you need to stay in bounds. They're going to keep the clock running.
Next week for us, we'll be in Pinellas County for a Class 4A Region 3 Round 1 matchup as the Countryside Cougars host the Armwood Hawks. Remember, for all of our programs, just go to BrightHouseNetworks47.com. That's like the regional final in round number 1. Armwood had to drop a game and ended their 20-game statewide win streak because of a forfeit and a illegal player dress.
But you know what, Eric? They're still number 1 in the state.
Yes.
And they're still ranked
Delay of
7th.
game, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
I voted in that top 25 poll statewide, and it was a big question. And I think obviously all of us here from this area said, well, we're still going to vote him number 1.
Right.
And I believe everybody else in the statewide poll did as well.
Well, they're still ranked 7th in the state. And I think one poll put an asterisk by the one-loss record.
Penalties tonight, pretty average for both teams. A lot better for Lakeland compared to what they did in the preseason. Of course, Coach was telling us that was basically a scrimmage for us. Coach Castle said, man, we had hardly any practice time. That just wasn't Dreadnought football. Griffin, he'll keep it, and he'll get stopped at the line of scrimmage. And so the Red Devils defense, they do it. But they have a hurt player in the backfield of the Dreadnaughts, and he is just, he's in pain.
Yeah. He's on the bench. He's sitting in the back.
Trent Newton, the leading tackler for these Red Devils, doing what he does best. Trying to get a spot of that number out there. I don't want to guess, but it may be Mr. Turner, number 18. But the Dreadnaughts at least spent like 2 minutes with the football.
That's right.
As they get ready, and it is Turner, number 18, as he needs to be helped off. 4th down and 12 coming up. They're going to have to punt it away, and special teams is going to be a big part of this game. If you're Kathleen, do you come after the punter on this, or do you try to set up the return?
go after the punter. No one's had a big return all game.
Two big pass plays, big running plays by Rainey as Turner gets helped off. Black is standing at his own 33-yard line. Here come the Red Devils. The rush was on. They just couldn't get to the punter. And Black now lets it bounce in front of him, but he gets a fortuitous bounce right to him. And he's not going to go anywhere unless he can head to the far side of the field. Ooh, that was another neck bender out there as he gets to the 27-yard line, and the flag comes out late again. Somebody wasn't sporting the tude.
I think it was on Kathleen.
As Turner suffers with his injury, reports from the sideline is that Rainey has a shoulder injury. Not good news for the Dreadnaughts. Hopefully it's not serious.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on the red. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on the white. The penalties will offset. Kathleen retains possession, 1st and 10.
Well, that's a big sigh of relief for Kathleen. Even if it would have been on them, moved them back even farther. So 3:36 left. And trailing by 9. And right now, a field goal or better for Kathleen to stay in this ball game. But they have to do it quickly. McCroy down the middle of the field. It's tipped and incomplete. It looked like Rashad Coleman got a hand on it. He might have pulled a muscle as he reached up in the sky. Well, something didn't look like he just didn't come down right.
Well, as long as he got a hand on it, he gave his defensive guys a chance to get an interception in.
5th incompletion in a row for McCroy. Start completing sign. Here comes Kindred Stewart again. Look out for number 52. He says, I want to be the player of the game. And taken down from behind.
Face mask.
And a late flag comes out as John Brown had the quarterback, but it may have had the quarterback and the face mask. So a loss may turn out to be a big gain for Kathleen, depending on how severe the officials rule it.
They were coming after him. Did a good job of trying to buy himself some time, and actually.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one. Let's hear from Mr. Greco.
Face mask on the defense, penalized 15 yards from the end of the run. It remains 2nd down.
Or at least they gain about 5 yards out of it instead of losing yardage all the way back close to the 10-yard line, which would have been devastating. It probably would have spelled the end of the Red Devils. But they're still standing. Still looking for that first victory since 1992.
That's an Elton John song, man. I'm still standing.
It's from the 80s.
Yep.
Tipped again. They'll say it's incomplete.
Lakeland's done a good job ever since that. I've been watching that play. They've tried to run that play a couple times, and I think that what they've told their defensive ends is that, hey, once you get past the line of scrimmage, see the quarterback raise up, just try to knock the ball down.
Logan Irby, Kindred Stewart, and Alex Hamilton, and Edgar Lewis, all of them. We've had an outstanding game up front. Throw in John Brown despite the face mask. It's 4-down territory for Kathleen. So here on the 3rd down and a 5-yard play to make a 1st down. Rush is on. Taylor's after the quarterback. McCrory goes down. Taylor got a shoelace, but it'll go down as a quarterback sack. 4th down coming up for the Red Devils.
When you play good, solid defense, you know, a lot of people like to sit back and prevent defense, but Lakeland decided, hey, it's 4th down. We're going to go after. We're not going to give you an opportunity to make a play on us. We're going to try and get you before you get going.
Actually, that may have been John Brown or Edgar Lewis, number 99, that got the shoelace. Taylor was in there as well, but eventually Edgar Lewis did the damage. It's a second sack. We'll take a quick break. It is 4th down and forever coming up for the Red Devils here on the Game of the Week. High school football here on Bright House Network's Channel 47. Eric Keaton, Lamar Thomas, and Ed Bacher. It is 4th down. Scoreboard says 25. Kathleen has to go for it. They need to get to the 37-yard line. It's more like 4th down and 20. As Kathleen has to go for it. And again, Lamar, you're right. You pointed out a few possessions ago that Kathleen's had their opportunities. They've had a few balls overthrown, some drop passes that could have went for 1st downs. They have to protect the quarterback here, McCroy. He goes deep, looking for his man out there. He's got him, and it's caught! A huge completion, unbelievable! Wow. Kenneth Bess gets behind the secondary, and the Red Devils. The heart monitor keeps beeping. They still have life up to the 35-yard line. That was on 4th down and 20.
See that hole? See that hole?
Wow. 47-yard pass play. McCroy puts it up in the air again. Has the same target. It's Bess. Bess moves the change. He's inside the 20, and it stops the clock, LT, at 2:28.
All the people who left, they might start coming back in now. Get a little post corner route here.
McCroy's a little streaky passer. He gets to the 5, he starts hitting guys right in the number, but if he's rushed on and he starts missing, he'll miss 5 or 6 in a row, but then he gets hot again.
Good job of getting out of bounds by the receiver.
Maybe it's something about that at the end of halves. Maybe it's the offense moving.
Maybe.
Will they go to the end zone here? Oh, timeout's going to be called by Lakeland. They said, hold on a minute, guys. It's something we don't like about this offense, the way it's moving right now. What happened on that 4th down play, LT? It looked...
Well, first of all, it was
gutsy to go for it further. I guess they had to.
I mean, they had to. But also, you see this hole by Kobe here. Watch, they don't call this. He just tackles, look, and then he just slings it up there. I don't think the defense thought he could throw it behind him. Just snuck behind him.
Play reminds me of the game for Hillsborough and Chamberlain, with time running down, and Chamberlain in the final minute drove for the game-tying field goal, and they threw up a 4th down pass play to keep the chains moving. Sidney Bryant completing that pass back in 2001 to tie the game. They eventually went to overtime and won it. One of the best games we've ever had on the Game of the Week. Bess's numbers, you saw him, 4 receptions, including that last one, which was just huge.
Big.
Kathleen comes back to win this game with that type of play. It would just be bedlam here. Will they go for the end zone? There's 9 players, 8 players in the box. McCroy sends it up, and it's almost intercepted again by that man, Troy Johnson.
I tell you,
they had 8 players up in the box.
I tell you what, Lakeland is like, hey, you're either going to beat us or we're going to make a big play. They're blitzing. They're bringing it.
They're not going to give him a chance to set up and throw it into the end zone.
They're not going to do a University of Florida and play prevent. Our producers think he didn't like that. Gives up the hook. Got it.
From the 18-yard line, McCroy looking toward that end zone. Throws it. Has his man. It's back. Touchdown, Red Devils. Just when you thought they're dead, they bring you back in.
We got a ball game, Eric.
Dancing like the Devils. 18-yard touchdown reception. The all-important extra point is good. And that makes it a 2-point ball game.
This is going down to the wire. They get onside right here. Now, do you onside?
Well, it depends on the timeout situation, which we're trying to verify. The Red Devils are just going berserker right now as Kathleen, the touchdown pass. Another one by McCoy, has 2 interceptions and 2 touchdowns.
All those people who left, they're starting to come back in, Eric. Best might be the play of the game if they get the ball back.
They made 2 outstanding receptions. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining.
Now you have to. I think you're onside right here. I mean, this is. Lakeland has the hands team in.
Oh, pooch it, and it goes right to midfield. It wasn't a very good attempt. I don't even know if his players were ready really low. With 2 timeouts left, I'm almost willing to just try to boot the heck out of it, but the kicking game as far as what we've seen tonight haven't been the best thus far. But game's not over yet. They may have to go the length of the field, but then again, they're only a field goal away. They don't have to score a touchdown. They just have to get the ball back if you're rooting for Kathleen. And these fans that have stayed, it's still a packed house, and you can hear them.
And they've shown some good sideline routes. Kathleen has some good sideline routes, so they were able to save their timeouts on their last possession.
Boy, Lakeland has to be thinking about that 4th down and 20. How did they convert that 47-yard pass? They go to their fullback, Chancey.
Number 2 on the carry, going down 9.
Right now, if I'm Lakeland Kathleen, I'm looking to strip the ball. You gang tackle and you strip.
Well, it took them about,
I said he wasted about 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5-6 seconds to finally decide whether to call a timeout.
See, that's where you get you guys over. You get your defensive captain over on the sideline and you tell him what you want.
Well, see, this is also new territory for both of these teams.
Exactly.
They haven't been involved in that many close games, so the situation, I don't want to say may be awkward, but they're just not used to it.
But, you know, a well-coached team, and I'm sure Coach Tate right now is pulling his defensive captain aside and saying, hey, okay, this is what I want, guys. This situation happens, we want a timeout here and there. And on the other side, if you're Lakeland High, you're telling your guys, hey, stay in bounds, okay? Don't run out of bounds. You don't want to give them an opportunity to stop this clock. You want the clock to keep running.
They don't have Rainey to go to. They do have Taylor.
Strip it.
You strip it. His carries. They'll give it to him here. Taylor up the middle. He has a 1st down, and that will stop the clock. And that's a devastating 1st down as the Dreadnaughts move the chains and they go inside the 40.
That was big. Big run there. But one thing you have to understand, if you're Kathleen, you say to yourself, they're not going to try to run any sweeps. Everything's got to be up the middle. They want the clock to keep going. They don't want to take a chance on getting to the outside. So you stuff that middle. And it seems like for some reason Kathleen kind of spread out on that defensive side of the football. That keeps that clock running.
Kathleen did not burn the timeout. They're going to save it for after this play. They run it to Chancey. Chancey goes up the middle, but a good gain inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. It'll be the final timeout called by Kathleen. And safe to say, one more 1st down by Lakeland.
And it is over.
And they will be undefeated in the regular season. Again. Well, for Kathleen, they'll also go back and look at that possession where they scored that long touchdown pass to Hardrett on the tight end play, and then on the kickoff, they got the football back on the fumble and then threw the interception at the goal line. Ooh. And Troy Johnson took it back to midfield, and after the penalty, eventually Rainey did his thing for 67 yards.
Right.
And of course, they'll have a permanent picture of Marcus Okobi on that bike. Defense needs to come up huge. They need a turnover. Taylor leaves his feet, which sometimes can be dangerous. And they'll blow it dead. He doesn't go down, but they'll blow it dead. But that clock's going to keep moving.
Keep on turning. So Eric, player of the game. We're looking at the stats, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to figure out who's going to get the little helmet that could.
You guys go ahead and vote for it. I got a game to finish up.
Yeah, take the pressure off of yourself, buddy.
Taylor to the outside. He'll get stopped, but that clock's going to keep on moving, and it'll be a 4th down. There's not much Kathleen can do now.
How many yards did Rainey end up with?
Has to snap it again.
How many yards did Rainey end up with?
Fourth down play. As Griffin's just waiting for those final seconds. He'll take it himself. They'll take him down, and that'll be the ball game. The Lakeland Dreadnaughts, 19-17, undefeated at 10-0.
They should have the time on the clock. They should have at least 2-3 seconds on the clock.
Well, the officials better get out there because Lakeland is celebrating at midfield.
Yeah, it's about to get ugly. It's about to get ugly. It should be about 2 seconds on the clock.
Problem is that with the referee, Bob Greco, he had one of his officials ruling that the game was over.
Right.
And now they're ruling everybody back to the sidelines. And now Greco's having to explain it to Coach Castle's staff. As Coach Castle's getting his players, he's already back on the sidelines. It's his staff that wants to find out what's going on. So Kathleen's going to have one. You talk about a Hail Mary.
I tell you what, Eric, I really don't think that we'll see both these teams shaking hands. You know, Lakeland came on the field when they thought the game was over, and they started stomping on the K out there. And, you know, these Kathleen players, they have a lot of pride at this school.
Coach Tate's probably trying to get a 15-yarder out of it.
Right, they didn't like that too much. A lot of pride between these two schools.
Well, for the offensive line for Kathleen, Jimmy Andrews, and number 54, they have a stretcher over there in the Polk County.
Please reset the game clock to 1.5 seconds. Timeout, Lakeland. That's their second charge. Timeout, 1.5 seconds.
Jimmy Andrews is being helped off onto a stretcher as the Polk County EMT team is going to have to take him to the hospital. He's having his neck checked out where Okobi was riding the bike. So Kathleen, obviously, they're putting a neck brace on him as well. So they're going to be out without their right guard, as Kathleen will be minus him for this play, the final play of the ball game, and also as they look toward the playoffs, that could be an injury worth noting for Kathleen. So the Red Devils and Dreadnaughts game of the week comes down to a 1.5-second play after pandemonium nearly broke out at the end of the game. Well, what am I saying? Pandemonium did break out as the Dreadnaughts are celebrating. But remember games like LSU,
oh my goodness, I was just about to bring it up. LSU, Kentucky.
If that would happen in this game, I believe I'd be screaming and just keep screaming, because it would be something that would just you don't see very often. McCroy has thrown a couple of interceptions and a couple touchdowns.
Look, watch.
This might be a play that they've practiced and dreamed about running during the game.
Watch Urban
on
Loney.
the near side. They're going to try to run it and get it in. The old flea flicker play. Getting loose is Duffy. Duffy to the near side, has some blockers. Duffy will not make it.
What a game.
And so the second celebration for the Dreadnaughts begins. As Duffy, he got banged up on that play. The Lakeland Dreadnaughts win this game 19-17. Stay with us, post-game show is coming up. This place is bedlam. Another look at the final play.
Well, good try, good effort here, but you got to pitch it sooner or later. You can't do it by yourself. Like I told you, Eric, looking down on the field now, I knew there would not be any handshaking after this game.
And who knows if we'll get a post-game interview coming up as well, as both teams just take off toward the locker room with the anxiety very high at the end of this game. You're right, no handshaking, so stay with us. Some of these players rightfully upset, but remember the motto, sport to two. When we come back post-game, we'll at least have Lamar and I wrapping up.
Wow.
This Lakeland and Kathleen affair. At least Coach Castle wants to shake hands with Coach Tate, and we'll get that on camera for you. It was not all hype. It was a heck of a ball game, but Lamar and I will have our final comments coming up right after this on the Game of the Week. A disappointing loss for Kathleen, 19-17. Lakeland finishes the season 10-0. Kathleen 8-2. We're back after this. The Lakeland Dreadnaughts are undefeated, 10-0 after a 19-17 win over the Kathleen Red Devils. Joining Lamar and I now, the head coach of the Dreadnaughts, Coach Castle. And Coach, how patient did your offense have to be against this Kathleen defense?
Well, we didn't come out very patient the first half. We made a lot of mistakes offensively, but once we settled down the second half, we began to, I think, adjust to the speed level of their defense. And, you know, we were able to move the ball a little bit right there on offense. Our defense, I'm really proud of them. I thought they played great all night.
Coach, with Chris Rainey going down, were you holding your breath over there, or what's going on with Chris Rainey?
You always hold your breath for Chris Rainey. He's just a great back, but we got another good back over in Jamar Taylor that we feel very good about, but hopefully Chris will be all right, and we'd hate to lose him for the playoffs.
Coach, was this a typical emotional game as the game started to get a little bit out of the hand there at the end? A lot of these kids wear their emotions on their sleeves.
Well, I think both teams got a lot of pride, and you know, it's such a community game that it's kind of great to get that intensity back into the game and a little bit right there. It was a great high school football game.
Coach, I know you guys will be intense next week as you guys get ready for Chamberlain. Good luck.
Well, I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
All right, folks, there you have it from the head man of the Lakeland Dreadnaughts. These are undefeated again at 10-0. Stay with LT and I. We'll be back, wrap up the exciting second half right after this.